Welcome back, everyone. This past weekend, we got another great WWE PLE in Lyon, France, with one of the best crowds we've ever seen. So, France, thank you for that amazing showing. But we also have the location for the biggest event in wrestling, WrestleMania 41, and more wrestling news. So, without further ado, let's get ready to rumble.
So I can breathe. It's only safe for you and me. I know you won't let me OD. And if I finally die in peace, just wrap my body in these sheets and pour out the gasoline. It don't mean much to me.
Starting off here, I'm going to give a quick Backlash overview. It was a great PLE, about 11,000 in attendance, and there were 5 matches. The only true title change we had was the Kabuki Warriors losing the women's tag team titles to Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I'll touch on some more details later. We had that, including one more tag team match, and then we had 3 title matches. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good PLE. But moving to AEW here, Swerve Strickland gets his opponent for Double or Nothing, and it is none other than Christian Cage, which I think it's a great opponent because they never really advanced that storyline from when him and Swerve and Christian Cage tagged at All In Wembley against Darby and Sting in that casket match. But I feel like we're going to see some shades of that play in here, and I definitely think that it's going to be a great in-ring match. I think the promos will be good leading up to it. I think Christian Cage is a great first title defense for Swerve Strickland, and I can't wait to see what this match offers. But moving back to WWE here, we keep hinting closer and closer to this mysterious group that's supposedly led by Uncle Howdy. The reported members, according to multiple sources, are Dexter Lumis, Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan making his return to WWE, and Uncle Howdy, of course. Which I think the presentation for this group has been, very mysterious, very good presentation in terms of the QR codes and all these little bits and commercials. But I think this group can be very good. It's a lot of people who haven't gotten much TV time, if any. We've been wondering where Dexter Lumis has been all these months. Nikki Cross pops up once every 2 months on Raw. Joe Gacy lost his group Schism a while ago, and now Ava's the GM of NXT, and the Grizzled Young Veterans are back in AEW now. Eric Rowan's just returning to WWE now, and obviously Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas is mourning his brother's passing, but they're all ready to come back now. And honestly, I can't wait to see what this group offers. It seems like a very interesting and exciting group, so we just have to see what they can do. But still, here on WWE, we had 2 releases. We had Drew Gulak and Gable Steveson getting released by WWE, which Gable Steveson was expected for a while. We thought it happened a very long time ago, but it didn't. He didn't really do much on NXT. If anything, he had one match at Great American Bash against Baron Corbin, and that was a double count out. It was a pretty boring match. But Drew Gulak was kind of out of nowhere because obviously, he has a faction in NXT, and he's been pretty good. He just hasn't been featured that much in his own matches, but it's obviously not good to see someone lose their job, especially at this high of a level in which they're working at. But, Gable Steveson was very expected by everyone. Drew Gulak was kind of out of nowhere. Wish them the best in their future. But moving on to a topic that did happen at Backlash this past weekend. During the tag team match between the New Bloodline, Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, it was a street fight match, and near the end of the match, Tonga Loa from New Japan came in, helped the New Bloodline win the match, and he is officially the 3rd member of this New Bloodline that Solo Sikoa is building. And many people here were expecting Jacob Fatu to debut. I just think Jacob Fatu is a very raw talent, and obviously he's signed to WWE. I feel like they just need a couple months, a month or two, to just, develop him and make him a better wrestler so that he's prepared for anything he has to do with the New Bloodline when he eventually joins. But I think Tonga Loa was the right move here. Makes them stronger in the present time. And, yeah, it was a very exciting moment. Very excited to see what this new bloodline is up to on the next episode of SmackDown and the SmackDowns to come. But we had a couple re-signings for WWE, a couple big re-signings, actually. Drew McIntyre, the long-anticipated re-sign, has re-signed with WWE, and so is Seth Rollins, which probably means that Becky Lynch eventually will as well. And these are two very great re-signings that we were expecting. Obviously, some AEW fans wanted Drew McIntyre to go to AEW because obviously they're going to Wembley for All In again. But this is Drew McIntyre's home. He got fired a while back. He worked his way back up. WWE signed him back, and he is where he is now. He's on the main event scene, and it took him a lot of work, and there's no other home for him for WWE at this point. And obviously, Seth Rollins, a huge pillar in WWE history at this point, not even just present time. You know, he built up that World Heavyweight Championship for just about a year, and now he's taking a short break, but when he comes back, he'll definitely be back on the main event scene, no doubt about it. He might even be in the War Games match, which we're assuming is against the new bloodline, but, you know, I'm definitely excited to see what they do with their new contracts. And in terms of Becky Lynch, she just won the Women's World title. I don't think she's going anywhere. I think that was part of the reason why they put the belt on her. And I think she'll probably lose it again in her match against Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring. But moving on to the WrestleMania 41 location, this has been long anticipated. The battle has been basically between Minnesota and Las Vegas. But I'm happy to say that Las Vegas won the battle. WrestleMania 41 on April 19th and April 20th will be in Las Vegas, which, I mean, at this point, Las Vegas has, for the past year or two, kind of been the center of sports and sports entertainment. You know, they have so many great venues, and it's going to be a great event. I can't wait to see in the future, in the far future, what matches build up for that event. But I'm very excited to hear that it's in Las Vegas because, honestly, I would rather that than Minnesota. I feel like that'll bring in more viewership. It will fill more seats, and I think it was a great decision by WWE and Triple H. But back to Backlash now. The France crowd, I just have to give a quick shout-out. That was probably one of, if not the best crowd we've ever seen. It's something that we'll truly never forget as fans. You know, seeing them doing Jey Uso's entrance, it kind of solidified him as a championship-worthy wrestler, a world title-worthy wrestler. And, you know, just the presentation and how they were able to, they're the first crowd ever to sing Randy Orton's theme song word for word. I mean, that's just such a special thing. It was a great crowd all night, even though it was 11,000. I mean, imagine a WrestleMania in France with a full stadium. That would be break records. And there was noise notifications in the stadium that people got on their phones because of how much noise they were making, which something we've never seen before, something we'll never forget. But our last topic here, kind of AEW and WWE mixed here, but the House of Black reportedly are very upset with AEW, and I don't know, they might be going to WWE. I mean, Malachi Black, obviously, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Julia Hart. I think Julia Hart will stay in AEW because, you know, they're giving her matches every week. They're doing her right. But everyone else, from what we've heard, it is the fact that they come in and tell Tony Khan what they want to do. He doesn't like that. He tells them what he wants to do. And they don't like that, so he just sends them home, and they don't do anything on the episodes. And they haven't been presented on TV well since, I'd say, All In and Wembley. So I feel like Malachi Black going back to WWE and getting his proper run would be something that us fans deserve to see because he was such a special talent in NXT, and I think they can really elevate him on the main roster with the right person in charge, which is Triple H. And Brody King in WWE, he's elevated himself as a star in AEW recently. I feel like that would be very intriguing to see Brody King finally make his way to the WWE because they can make him a very special talent. They might keep him down in NXT for a little bit just to make sure he's ready, but, you know, nonetheless, he would be a very great star. And obviously, we've seen Buddy Matthews in WWE. He's been kind of a tag team wrestler, just someone in a faction. But I think he's a good wrestler, and I think him being back in WWE, obviously with his fiancée Rhea Ripley, it would make more sense for him. And I just can't wait to see what this news with the House of Black is, and we will keep you updated on that in future episodes. Sadly, that'll be all for us this week. Don't worry, though, we'll be back next week with the newest wrestling news from WWE, AEW, and even TNA. As always, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time on Chairshot Wrestling.